Last time on Purple Hat Guy. What's up, Joe Biden?
You have declared war on us. We are deploying the nuclear arsenal.
We have natural resources that would be damaged by a nuclear blast.
What kind of natural resources?
Oil?
Oil will not be damaged by a nuclear blast. You may fire when ready.
And now, the conclusion. Wait! You can have the oil for free. It seems only fair since this land used to belong to you. You can do whatever you want with this land. It'll be just like we're part of the United States. We'll be your vassal. We'll even pay you to take the oil.
Listen, Fat, I may like oil, but I also like freedom, and you don't have any. So I'm sending you some express delivery, whether you like it or not.
Please, just don't nuke us, please.
Goodbye.
No! Stop! Wait! You won't be able to get out of the blast radius in time! Well, that does it. No more namby-pambying around trying to make America happy. I'm gonna let the whole world know my opinions of the presidents of the United States, for all the good that does me. Okay, so let's start, just go chronologically. So George Washington's a classic. He's on the big green. He's the original. He was a good, stable president. I mean, he did own slaves, so he can't quite be an S tier, because that's legitimately a bit of a downer. So, he's a solid A tier, can't quite be S tier, because owning slaves isn't rad. Got it? Okay, so now, John Adams. I'm pretty sure he was this guy. Really cool. He didn't own slaves, I think, but he also did the Alien and Sedition Acts, which were kind of lame. But I think overall he did a pretty good job in office. He was the only Federalist Party president. I don't know what that means, but it's kind of cool. John Adams, he's a cool dude. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in A tier as well. The thing is, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm not a historian. I just sort of absorb information from history textbooks, and whatever they tell me is what I think. These are just what I think, so they're my opinions, so they may be completely wrong. Just kidding. I'm not expressing any opinions in this video, only pure facts. If you disagree with me, you disagree with the facts, and you're wrong. Understand? Okay. Moving on. Okay, so where's Thomas Jefferson? He's the third president. There he is. He's cool. He, wrote the Declaration of Independence. But, again, slaves. I don't know, I'm gonna put these first three as all A tiers, because they're just all good. Okay, fourth, James Madison. Wrote the Bill of Rights, I'm pretty sure. He's a B tier, just not as iconic as the top original three, but he wrote the Bill of Rights, which is pretty awesome, actually. Now, James Monroe. All I know about Monroe is the Monroe Doctrine, and I don't know what that means, but I'm pretty sure it was bad. So I'm gonna put him in D tier. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with my gut, even though I don't know what I'm talking. Just kidding, I do know what I'm talking about, because I'm an expert, and I only speak the facts. John Quincy Adams. I'm pretty sure he was like John Adams in that, he didn't own slaves, so I think for that he gets to be B tier, but he was just a little bit less cool as a president. I think he was the only president to serve as a senator after serving as president, which is pretty neat. Andrew Jackson. He's on the $20 bill. He's got a very scary face, makes you want to run away. Yeah, he looks like a weird Frankenstein Dracula creature. I used to think he was really cool because I go by Andrew, and his name is Andrew. So I was like, hey, he's like me. And the $20 bill was the highest denomination of bill I often saw. So, well, I still see. I don't really see anything higher. So he represents richness. And people are like, he's such a good president. He was such an important president. He represents the first normal person to become a president, someone who wasn't an aristocrat. But the problem was, he was kind of awful to the Native Americans. So because of his treatment of the Indians, he gets F tier. I don't care if he was good or not. That's just my gut instinct. Who was after? He was Martin Van Buren. Is that next? Martin Van Buren. Okay, he's the only Van president, and for that he gets a C tier, just very middling. After that was William Henry Harrison, who died, first president to die in office of a cold he got during his inauguration night because he's had a really long speech in the cold, and he got a cold. So, pretty lame. President from Indiana. D tier. He was replaced by John Tyler. I think that's John Tyler there, who probably also a D tier, to be honest. I don't think John Tyler ever got elected. He was just a vice president who got into office from his previous president dying. So next was James K. Polk. James K. Polk. Okay, there he is. He's got a weird mullet, and for that he gets F tier. Zachary Taylor died in office as well. He looks kind of grumpy. He was a president. I mean, he was a general and a president, and he died. I don't know anything about him. F tier. Millard Fillmore. He's got a funny name, which means he goes to B tier. Franklin Pierce. Pretty lame. D tier. James Buchanan. I feel like a lot of these guys before Abraham Lincoln are sort of responsible for letting the rift between North and South get as bad as it did. I think they should have done something about slavery earlier. So I'm holding James Buchanan personally responsible for all of those presidents' wrongdoings, so he gets F tier. Abraham Lincoln is an instant S tier just because he's iconic, and what he did was a really, really fantastic step in making America less awful. Andrew Johnson sort of backpedaled on a lot of what Abraham Lincoln did. Pretty lame. Again, what is it with the Andrew presidents? They're called Andrew. They should be as great as I am. Okay, Ulysses S. Grant. The S is fake. He's an A tier because his name is Ulysses, and that's cool. Rutherford B. Hayes, D tier. But he's got a cool beard. No, D tier. James Garfield, C tier. Just because he died in office, and he also has a cool beard. But, okay, Chester A. Arthur is an instant A tier for that beautiful mustache. Grover Cleveland, the bread of the Grover Cleveland sandwich, he's a B tier. Benjamin Harrison, grandson of William Henry Harrison, I think. He's the meat of the Grover Cleveland sandwich, so he gets to be B tier as well. And then I'm just going to move Grover Cleveland around, because to complete the sandwich, in your imagination, of course, you'll have to imagine it, because there's not two Grover Clevelands, but he did two offices around Benjamin Harrison. You're still here? I am. Better to die here, relaxed, than die running away and out of breath. I didn't know you played harmonica. Listen, I think I might have a plan. And? Do you know if this place's lockdown mode still works? It should work fine, but it was designed to defend against angry mobs, not withstand a nuclear blast. Do you think it would help at least? It's the safest option under the circumstances, but I think there are some fairly major problems. For example, this window here will almost certainly blow out under the pressure of a nuclear shockwave. It might even take the whole wall with it, but whatever happens, this room will be totally destroyed, flooded with deadly radiation, and will be rendered completely unusable. Okay, so we just need to make sure we're in there when the time comes. Right. Okay, fine. William McKinley is maybe the ugliest president. D tier. Theodore Roosevelt, I feel like he's cool, like in your imagination. He's like a manly man, but I feel like in reality he was a bit of a bully, an international bully, which is funny because he said the word bully a lot, at least according to Night at the Museum, which is a movie I've seen. But because of his iconicness, I'm giving him S tier just because of that. William Howard Taft is like fatter Roosevelt, and he's actually pretty cool. He was a Supreme Court justice as well. Ah, man, my eyes. I should not have filmed this in the afternoon. Woodrow Wilson is a super racist, F tier, worst president. I mean, I'm sure he did other good stuff. Nobody's 100% good or 100% bad, but he was just an awful, awful racist, and I don't like that. Warren G. Harding was a corrupt president, don't like him. Calvin Coolidge just sort of sat there while people were rich. Okay, Herbert Hoover, similar to Calvin Coolidge, didn't do much and let the Depression get bad, but it may not have been his fault, so I'm going to give him D tier. Franklin D. Roosevelt is pretty cool. He was a pretty good president. Ah, my eyes! Harry Truman. I've always liked Harry Truman. He was sort of, I think, one of the first presidents to actually care about civil rights, but he also nuked people, which is a little bit fresh in my mind, the idea of nuking people, presidents specifically nuking people, so I'm going to give him C tier. Dwight Eisenhower, he's a potato alien, and for that, I just love him, A tier. John F. Kennedy, he's iconic, he's classic, he navigated through the Cuban Missile Crisis, and then he got shot in the head, which gives him a B tier. The day before Doctor Who first aired, or the day of, I don't remember, he got killed, so I'd say it's a fair trade. John F. Kennedy for Doctor Who. Lyndon B. Johnson, ugly face, D tier. Richard Nixon, he's like a little creepy guy. He's like a more polished version of Lyndon B. Johnson. Ah, D tier, F tier. F tier, is he really that bad? He's pretty bad. Gerald Ford, ooh, he gets the disadvantage of being another never elected president. Jimmy Carter, I just love Jimmy Carter. I think for the next presidential election, we should go for the 2 presidents who've served 1 term and are still technically eligible for a 2nd term. We should have the Democrat bill be Jimmy Carter, the Republican bill be Donald Trump. Could be a bad idea. But it would be fun. I'd love to see 90-year-old Jimmy Carter as president. Well, I don't know about that, but I'm Ronald Reagan. That's not a good impression. Ronald Reagan, let's see. Which demographic are we appealing to? Boom or boom? Boom, 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 boom. Ah! Let's go C tier, just to annoy people. George Herbert Walker Bush. Who can resist that toothy grin? Look at his happy little face. Bill Clinton. I did not steal peanut butter from the cookie jar. I did not steal a cookie from the cookie jar. He's pretty cool. He's a C tier. George W. Bush. Look at that. He's like got his father's smile. And he goes, now watch this. Now watch this strike, or what? Watch this slice, or whatever he says.
I call upon all nations to do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive.
I don't know, B tier. At this point, my ranking is so completely ruined, I don't even know. Obama has always been a personal obsession of mine, so he gets S tier. Donald Trump, oh, can I just put him aside? I don't really want to do this right now. The problem with Donald Trump is he's a bit of a... It's a bit like visiting Chernobyl in 1987. It's too soon. It's still all irradiated, and it's just too heated. Whatever I say will make people mad at me. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything. Except, orange skin, fake hair, tiny hands, fat, talks funny, oh, peak comedy, Donald Trump, S tier, no, A tier, I can't do anything. I'm gonna put him in C tier. Because this little stinker right here is currently launching a nuclear missile right here to this building right now, he gets the worst tier of all, F tier. In fact, we're going to pull a Louisiana with this guy and do this. Okay. There. That's it. Alright. Did that help? No. Did that make me feel better? No. Seems to be getting to be about time now. Alright, bodyguard. Now's the time. You know, I've been thinking about it, and I think I'll stay here. What do you mean? I'm not so sure I want to survive this. I understand. Goodbye.